Tonight on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, a game of the week doubleheader in Belfry at the Pike County Bowl.
That's all they talk about. We got our jerseys in the other day for the Pike County Bowl, and they're all excited about wearing those.
A bowl game that has brought teams in from all over the state of Kentucky, and it's given great exposure to our school.
East Ridge battles Phelps, and the third-ranked Pirates welcome in Tates Creek. At the Cumberland Falls Pigskin Classic in Corbin, number 6 Knox Central looks to bounce back from a Week 0 loss when it meets Louisville Central. And the Harlan Green Dragons make the long trip to High Hat for a Class A matchup with the South Floyd Raiders.
Brandon Butcher, young clock running back, number 3. Sports Overtime starts now.
Welcome into the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, Week 1 of the high school football season. Alongside Jamie McCracken, I am Josh McKinney.
Bowl games and classics continuing across the state this weekend, including the Cumberland Falls Pigskin Classic down in Corbin.
We'll go there in just a bit, but we start in Belfry with the 31st Annual Community Trust Bank WYMT Pike County Bowl for 2 of our 4 games of the week this week. First up, number 3 Belfry and the Tates Creek Commodores. Number 3 Belfry opening its season at home versus Tates Creek.
You like this music?
I do. Creek's ball first, and on 4th and goal, Peyton Burt completes the quick screen for the short touchdown. 6-0 Commodores. Ensuing drive for the Pirates. Give it to X. Exandre Willis takes the handoff, runs 29 yards, virtually untouched for the score. Extra point gives Belfry the 7-6 lead. Pond Creek Nation excited. Second quarter, Andrew Fletcher punches it in from a yard out. Pirates increase their lead to 7. Next Commodore possession, Burke with his second touchdown pass of the night. Another short scoring play, 2-point conversion, ties the game at 14. As we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, middle of the 4th quarter, Belfry up 18 on the 6A. Tates Creek Commodores 48-30.
All right, first game of the night, East Ridge meeting up with Phelps. Go back out, stay with Belfry. Third play of the game, a sweep to the right with Brody Johnson. Picks up some blocks and he's gone. 30-yard scamper into the end zone, 6-0 Warriors. Next East Ridge drive, you know, it worked. Let's do it again.
Why not?
Why not? This time the pitch to Johnson a little closer from 12 yards out. Goes right though, 12-0 East Ridge. Following an interception, the give is to Johnson. Again, the first man through, and Johnson in for his 3rd score of the night, an 8-yard run. Warriors all over Phelps, 20-0 at that point as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. East Ridge goes on to win for the first time this season, 36-0 the final over the Phelps Hornets in the Pike County Bowl.
I'm just proud of our kids tonight. I think they showed a lot of class, and we showed up and played well. Our kids are getting better every single day, and that's what we're trying to work on, building our program the right way from the ground up. And, you know, I was really proud of our young kids tonight. It was a fun game.
All right, well, Coach, we'll let you get back to your team and celebrate and enjoy this victory, and best of luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you so much, and thanks to Community Trust Bank and WYMT and everybody that's involved. We thank everybody so much because it's all for these kids, and we really do appreciate it. We're humble to be a part of this. Thank you.
What are those? Assistant Coach Vaughn, hey man, them were some sweet orange Nike shorts. He wanted to beat me up after the game. I told him he's going to be on the news. Lincoln hosting McCreary Central. McCreary up 6-0. 10:44 left in the second quarter, and Britton Medlin, breaks all kinds of tackles. 35-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 6. Everybody just slipping off of him. Ensuing McCreary drive, River Helton, come here, boy, gets a sack. Chris Walters there for the assist for Lane Camp, and then the Wildcats get the ball back, and Dylan Brown drops back, throws it 18 yards to Austin Weddle. He's into the end zone as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Lane Camp gets its first win of the season, 26-22 over McCreary Central. Cats go to Jackson County next week.
Just ahead on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, the top-ranked Pulaski County Maroons visit Georgetown for a meeting with the Scott County Cardinals.
And how does number 6 Knox Central bounce back from its Week 0 loss, a 49-0 loss? Bryan Station, we'll check it out. We'll go down to Corbin next.
Time now for our Fans in the Stands t-shirt toss-out, sponsored by Eastern Kentucky University. Magoffin County fans filling the bleachers in Salyersville for the Hornets home opener and receiving some EKU t-shirts for doing so. Highlights of the Hornets in Estill County coming up shortly. Magoffin County, tonight's Fans in the Stands, sponsored by Eastern Kentucky University.
Yeah, speaking of fans, Josh, some good ones tonight. One game down and 0 points put on the board. Knox Central started the 2015 season off with a 49-0 loss to Bryan Station at Madison Central. Tonight, the Panthers back on the road in Corbin, taking on Central High out of Louisville. Now, regardless of last week's loss and the fact that they only have 3 home games on their schedule, like I said, the fans, they still traveled. Well, the Knox Central student section traveling down the road. Scott Russell's Panthers taking on Louisville Central. 6:16 left in the first quarter, no score. And Jackson Stewart hands it off to the other Stewart, Jeremy. He's got legs, 23 yards downfield. That's a first down. 3 plays later, Jackson Stewart, bad snap, drops back, and he goes up top. Go get it. 26-yard touchdown pass. 7-0 Knox Central. Tanner Wells with the catch. One of 2 throwing TDs for Stewart. He also ran one in tonight. Yellow Jacket ball now. Myron Norfleet out to Antonio Hurd, and whoops! That's a fumble. Casey Patterson jumps on it for the Knox Central Panthers. Knox doesn't capitalize, though, and off the turnover. So we go second quarter, and Stewart in the shotgun. We saw a bad snap earlier, bad snap here. Yeah. That's a safety. Make it 7-2. Of course, the Jackets get the ball back after that safety, and Corey Johnson right up the gut. Jackets lead 10-7 after they convert the 2-point conversion after that touchdown. Under 4 minutes to go in the half now. Same score. Norfleet, this time he keeps them himself, pretty much untouched. Go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, though. Knox wins this one 28-24. Tanner Wells catches a go-ahead 18-yard touchdown pass with 40 seconds left to win it. And Wells, he also wins player of the game. Game 2 from the Cumberland Falls Pigskin Classic going on right now, still in Corbin. It just ended in the third quarter, and Corbin, the Red Hounds, number 7 in our Mountain Top 10, lead the Wagner Wildcats 21-0.
It's a big win for Knox Central. Pineville hosting Jackson County. Coach Bart Elam said pregame he wants his Mountain Lions to respond from a tough loss last week at Hazard. First quarter, Jackson County driving, but on 4th down, Nike Mason with a big stop. Just do it. Lions on offense, Tuck Woolham rolls right, throws a perfect ball downfield, finds his main man, Will Adams, wide open for the score, 8-0 Mountain Lions. Lions knocking on the door again, same play, but this time Jackson County all over it. Give me that football. INT, Pineville, though, still with the lead. Later in the half, another rollout for Woolham, making it look easy on the run. Finds Jalen Bird all alone in the end zone for the score. And the Mountain Lions roll at home 41-8 over the Jackson County Generals.
Early district game in 3A District 7 between Magoffin County and Estill County. First play from scrimmage for the Engineers is where we start. Cordell Day. Watch him run, folks. That's a Pike top play contender. Get off me, please. He goes 57 to the house. It's 7-0 just like that. A quick 3-and-out from Magoffin. Estill, they're back on offense. And they're back in the end zone.
Every time these two teams play, there's always a lot of points scored.
Yeah. Michael Abner this time with the carry. Engineers score on their first 2 possessions. Estill in the red zone again, but this time the young Magoffin defense forces the turnover. But the Hornet offense would stall again. Let's go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Estill County gets the district road win. You know, Josh, you said they score a lot of points. Estill scored the most points tonight. 46-8, they win. I want to give credit to the Estill County football Twitter account because they tweeted this stat. Engineers totaled 417 yards on 45 rush attempts. They didn't attempt a single pass tonight.
That is ridiculous. Staying on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, Harlan County bounces back from a lopsided loss in Week 0 with a win at home against Clay County 43-6. Southwestern led Bourbon County 21-0 after 1 quarter. Then the Colonels outscore the Warriors 31-6 the rest of the game. Southwestern falls 31-29 in the Bob Allen Pigskin Classic at Danville. And speaking of Danville, the Admirals all over Rockcastle County 46-6. That game is in the fourth quarter. The #1 ranked Pulaski County Maroons drop one on the road to Scott County, 53-31. And don't look now, but the Perry Central Commodores, 2-0 in the Tom Larkey era. They win tonight in Jackson against Breathitt County, 29-24. Fairview knocks off Hazard in a Class A matchup, 44-20. And the Leslie County Eagles improved to 2-0 on the year, 56-14 over the Knott County Central Patriots.
Both our #1 and #2 teams going down tonight.
Some movement next week. Have to find out. Still to come, Whitley County and Middlesboro both look to notch win #1 on the season.
And a Class A matchup in Floyd County as the South Floyd Raiders welcome in the Harlan Green Dragons.
I'm Nate Sanger, and you're watching Sports Overtime.
There ain't no other feeling like it on Friday night to be sitting here with those butterflies in your belly, getting ready to go do something you love.
This is time to go. This is time to go out there and get you to feel that hunger that we know you got.
They've had a right to talk. They've had you.
What you got to come out and do is do your job. Do your job. You come out and do your job as a group, as a team, you will come out victorious.
There's only one football team plays football in Bell County like soccer. You better take it back tonight. All right? But you better go get your crown back here in the camp.
No matter what happens, have that self-control to get your job done. Do your job. Every man does their job and does it right. We win.
Get a mean arm. Get that mean arm. Come on, boys. Come on. I love you guys. Let's go.
Both the Harlan Green Dragons and the South Floyd Raiders are in a new look district this season, and both are hoping to find a little more success once the postseason rolls around. Tonight, though, the two teams met over in Floyd County. Head coach Chad Hall and South Floyd looking to start 2-0, hosting the Harlan Green Dragons. Pike top play contender Raiders punting in the first. Paul Stapleton fields it at his own 15, waits for some blocking, and then virtually goes untouched up the far sideline. 85 yards for the score. Green Dragons up 7-0. First play of the second quarter, Kendall Brock runs it up the gut for the 2-yard touchdown. 13-0. Back, though, comes South Floyd. Quarterback Hunter Johnson keeps it on the option, weaves his way 24 yards for the touchdown. Raiders down just 13-6. But they had no answer for Harlan's ground game. Brock again for the touchdown. As we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, Harlan gets the road win at South Floyd, 60-26, the final score.
All right, little guy versus big guy tonight. Class 2A Middlesboro, Class 5A Whitley County. Whitley County, first drive of the third quarter. Quarterback Luke Woods, he's set to throw. All right, nobody's open. I'm just going to take off. A few guys miss. Big chunky yardage there, and he would score on a QB sneak. Get in there. Later in the drive, that puts up Whitley 33-25. Still a one-possession game, but Middlesboro marches right back down the field. Jackets converted 3 third-down tries on this drive, and Logan Caps is down at the 1, and then he caps it off.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. That is Caleb No writing those highlights. Whitley, though, they're up by 2. Teams trading punches, but Whitley gets the last one. It's Woods again. Maybe he shouldn't play quarterback. Maybe he should just put him back there and let him run the football. Go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Whitley County, the Colonels get the win tonight, 47-38 over Middlesboro.
In Williamsburg, the Yellow Jackets facing off with the resurgent Somerset Briar Jumpers. First quarter action, Jackets on the attack. Quarterback Alex Poor drops back and delivers a strike to Alex Patterson. Patterson makes a nice catch, races his way 63 yards, puts Williamsburg up 13-0.
Skylar Griffin.
The Briar Jumpers, he's the next Skylar Griffin. The Briar Jumpers would answer. The handoff goes to Jordan Doan. Doan does the rest, makes a man miss, hits the outside, 11 yards out, touchdown, puts Somerset on the board, 13-7. Next set possession, first and goal. Who else are you going to give it to?
Doan.
The ball is knocked loose, but Somerset pounces on it. That's a Briar Jumper touchdown, 14-13 Jumpers midway through the second quarter. And Somerset would tack on a couple of more touchdowns and knock off Williamsburg on the road. The final score, 41-20 over the Yellow Jackets.
Doney's so small, but he can run. Johnson Central tonight opens up with a 41-6 win over Fairland, Ohio. So the number 4 Golden Eagles open up the season with a win. Lawrence County drops one on the road to Montgomery County, 28-14 the final score. So Lawrence County now 1-1. Morgan County gets their first win on the season. They shut out Betsy Lane 56-0. The Bobcats now 0-2. The Jenkins Cavaliers travel to Virginia to take on Ridgeview, and the Panthers, they put up 65 points on the Cavs. So final score there 65-8. Jenkins loses. Prestonsburg bounces back from a week 0 loss and goes on the road to Sheldon Clark and wins it 20-7 tonight. Powell County still looking for their first win of the year. They lose to West Carter 48-13. The final score tonight. And staying on the Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, well, you just saw it. It's 48-13.
Paintsville knocked off Frankfort. Final score 43-0 over in Franklin County. Much more to come on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. But as we go to break, here's a look at this week's Alice Lloyd College Mountain Top 10.
Time now for our McDonald's Student Athlete of the Week. Caitlin Estevez was a senior at Jenkins High School where she had a 4.0 grade point average. She was a 2014 Governor Scholar as well as a Robinson Scholar on the softball team. She set the program record for wins in a season with 30 in 2013 and threw 6 no-hitters during the 2014 season. Congrats, Caitlin, our McDonald's Student Athlete of the Week.
How about our Long John Silver's catch of the day? We go back out to hi-hat. Hunter Johnson to Andrew Tackett on the sideline, gets both feet in bounds while making the over-the-shoulder grab.
That's pretty.
Johnson to Tackett right in the house, right in front of your face, too. Johnson to Tackett, the South Floyd Raiders, providing us with our Long John Silver's catch of the day. It is now time to get you set for this weekend's high school action with the Saturday slate, sponsored all season by Union College. Night number 2 of the Community Trust Bank WYMT Pike County Bowl kicks off tomorrow night at Pikeville High School.
Yeah, the host Panthers will play the nightcap tomorrow against the Cougars of Letcher Central. Despite coming off a win in week 0, both teams say there's a lot of room for improvement. Pikeville shoring up its defense and the Cougars starting quicker on offense.
Well, I think our effort's really good. Defensively, we're flying to the football. We still have, a long ways to go as far as assignments and things like that. Offensively, I think, just getting our quarterback a little more experience. Some of the guys up front don't have as much game experience, but we look for each of those to get better as the year goes on and just keep building upon each week.
They're extremely well coached defensively and strong team, so we've got to be able to, just move them. It's the main thing. Those guys are quick, they're strong, they're all athletes. They got people look like running backs playing D-line, and we just got to be able to get on them and move them a little bit to get our backs a chance to run, and it's just like any other game going into it. We just have to see what we can do.
The first game of the night pits Pike County Central against the 9th-ranked Wildcats of Shelby Valley. Both teams enter the game 0-1 after suffering a road loss in week 0. Pike Central at Letcher Central and Valley at Franklin County. While every team always wants to get that first win as early as possible, both teams say it's even more important to get a win in the Pike County Bowl.
You always want to win a Pike County Bowl. I mean, you get the big winner's trophy to put in your trophy case, and kids, it means something to the kids. And the two schools have been, the football teams have been jawing back and forth all summer since they found out they were going to play each other. So I expect it to be a good game.
Not a lot different change in what we did last year. We're going to still run our stuff. We just have to get better at it, and we got to rely on our offensive line even more this week than we have in the previous weeks, with both our backs being out and with some injuries in our offensive line.
Once again, the Pike County Bowl continues tomorrow at Pikeville High School. Game number 1 kicks off at 6:05 between Pike Central and number 9 Shelby Valley. Then, following that game at approximately 8:35 p.m., the host Pikeville Panthers will take on Letcher Central, the Cougars. Both games can be seen live on this TV and WYMT.com. Should be fun.
Well, there you go. Another episode of the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime in the books. We hope you tune in tomorrow for Sports Overtime Saturday night.
Yeah, Lauren and I will be on this same exact set. The Pike County Bowl continues with Pike Central, Shelby Valley, as we just showed you, and Letcher Central and Pikeville all in action. We'll also have highlights from the Cumberland Valley Bowl in London, where you're going to be going.
I'll be there. From everyone in our sports and production departments, thank you for watching. We leave you with the video of Johnson Central senior kicker Tyler Pack.
This is scary.
Kicking a 52-yard field goal with J.D. Harlan holding the football with his head. We'll see you next week.